Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live streaming end of day update. Today is September 5th. So you can see, let's start with the small time frame, and you can see S&P 500 very close to the buy zone. Okay, futures are right now around 9:26 p.m. Eastern, around 44.89 and below. That's the area you want to buy. You can see very nicely. It's holding the sell and buy zones. You can see here. I told subscribers I was sharing with you. This is where you want to sell, and resistance lines here. These are three standard deviation. And then if you're shorted here or sold, and then the profit was around 0.84%. And even here, this was a good time to buy. And the first take home profit is near the neutral line, which is white line, which I shared with my members, 0.4% here. And now we again now planning to go in the buy zone. And also same thing for Nasdaq. This is Nasdaq futures. Same thing here. You can see very nicely we were in the sell zone, shorted here, and now this morning we were in the buy zone, and I shared with my subscribers. So, by the way, guys, there's a chat Discord link in the description. If you want to join, it's free to join. You can chat with other members, and also I will be sharing these updates live with my subscribers. Pre-market and in mid afternoon update, and one trade can take subscription fee, can pay for the whole year subscription fee. So if you want to join YouTube channel, it's very cheap, like $7 a month. It's worth your time, and I think you will make a lot of money. Okay, so where we go from now? US 500. My target is, if I go to daily chart, let's go to 1 hour chart just to show you. Let me hide these line. This is the indicator. This futures gap here, August 1st. So from here, that's my target. So I'm looking for from here around 1.75. So it might take the entire week to reach there, because S&P 500 is entire stock market, doesn't go doesn't jump right away like that, right? And also you can see here uh, holding a bit of support here. You can see this whole area. If you draw a box here, like this, you can see holding support, coming for a back test, broke out, resistance, now broke out, back test, and I think it's looking good to go higher. And let me show you SPY. This is daily chart, so you can see this was holding the support trend line. It broke down and then again made a higher low, and now back testing this. So far not able to go above that, but if it can, there's a big gap here. Okay, you can go to 1 hour chart. Let me go to regular trading hours so it's easy to see. You can see there's a big massive gap. That's my part target. I think in September we should hit that. I don't know if we're gonna hit this week. It's possible, but yeah, I think we're getting ready to hit that, and that's my target. And by the way, if I go to SPX seasonality chart, I want to show you something. Usually September month is a bit bearish. If I go to images, you can see it here. Let me zoom this in. You can see September month. Usually we first 1.5 weeks, we just consolidate, don't do much, and then a massive pump from second week to, I think, third week of September. So this pump is easily around, I'd say, let's say 1% or so. Okay. So, and if I go to NDX chart, so NDX seasonality, not MDX. NDX seasonality, it's very similar. Okay, you can see here September's just consolidate in the beginning, then massive pump. The pump in September and NDX can be 2%. Then we give that all away by end of September. So from now until mid September, I think there could be a 2% pump on Nasdaq, and that's what I'm looking for actually. If you look at triple Qs, which is Nasdaq ETF. So if I go to 1 hour chart, from here, you can see from here, I'm looking for a pump to, let's see, from here, looking for a pump to around 382, which is 1.2%, and the final target is around 385. That's going to be perfectly aligned with the seasonality, and then you can see there's a gap fill here. So I think those gaps will be filled. So that's my target on Nasdaq. And if I go to Nasdaq chart, you can also see what's happening here. There was this downward sloping trend line. We broke out. We were holding also this trend line, support, 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 and you can see this downward sloping trend line. Also, we broke out, back tested it on Friday, and today we're just holding above it. Okay, so we were kind of flat, 0.13% up, but I think we are getting ready to go ahead and fill this line. And also, if I draw a Fibonacci retracement uh, from the lows to the high, if I draw like that, this is also could be a good zone to buy if it decides to fall here. Okay, but I'm going to get rid of that, so it can go here or it can just like hold this trend line and then bounce. Okay, for now I'm going to delete this because still it's holding this trend line. So if we, I think again it back tested this trend line, so I think we're getting ready for a bounce. And do not short, guys, like I showed you on a shorter time frame. If I bring this indicator again, you can see, actually not triple Qs, but you can see the futures. They are very close to the buy zone. Okay, now if Nasdaq 100 is below the neutral zone, so this is not where you want to be looking to short. Okay, you want to be looking to, sorry, give me a second. You want to be looking to short in the red lines, not in the green lines. Okay, you can see S&P 500 very close to the buy zone, 44.89 and below. So tomorrow it's flat right now. Tomorrow we are like, this is not the area to short. Anything below uh, neutral line, not area to short. Anything below neutral line, the white line is the area to buy, and anything above neutral line to red line, that's the area to short. All right, and Russell 2000, that's the other thing. This major index is in the buy zone. You can see Russell 2000 is in the buy zone, and US 30 also is just touching the buy zone. This is Dow Jones. So that's what I'm saying. Do not look to short here. This is a time to go long, and I'm my indicators don't care about any news. They're just saying right now this is the area you want to be buying. Let's look at gold. Gold is also in the buy zone short term. Silver is also a little bit higher than buy zone, but anything below 23.626 look to buy. Natural gas very close to the buy zone. This is where you want to buy natural gas. You can see also it's massive, just going bouncing up and down. Okay, so it's like traders market. When it goes to the sell zone between red lines, you sell, and then you again buy between green lines, and then neutral zone you can sell at minimum. Now again it's in the buy zone. So I think eventually it's going to ramp up and sell here. Crude oil massive pump. There was a news from Russia that crude oil is they're going to stop production from OPEC and Russia. So massive pump in the morning, came to third standard deviation, very hard to hold. Any stock going to third standard deviation, very hard to hold, sold off. Again tried another attempt, sold off, still near the sell zone. All right. Dollar, very good news that dollar is in the sell zone. So that's a good news because I think throughout the session, maybe this week, dollar will should go down. That's going to be bullish for stock market and Bitcoin and gold. So that's what I'm expecting. Bitcoin right now is just touching the buy zone in the middle in the neutral zone, 25,648 and below look to buy. Ethereum also in the neutral zone, looking to buy below that, okay, below 1622. So you know what, let's quickly go through daily chart and let's see how things are looking. So Bitcoin, you can see here holding this support line very nicely with the divergences. So we are getting this term, so I'm going to get rid of this. So divergences already played out. So we can delete this. So now it's holding the support line. Now I can adjust this support line slightly because it's still holding this. You have to keep adjusting the line as more data is available. So you can see there are two supports, okay? This white line support on daily and also this horizontal support. And I'd still, you can, if I zoom in, you can see PPO green line is above red line, and RSI, you can see here I have green dot, still no red dot. Okay, so that's good until I see flip. So to see a flip, I want to see green line below red line like here and then a red dot. So that tells me that now it's very bearish. So right now I don't have that, so you should be looking to buy until I see a reversal, and I will let you guys know. Ethereum, same thing, holding this trend line very nicely. Again, also on Ethereum, I don't see a red dot. I see green dot on Ethereum, and also green line is above red line. So everything is good so far on uh, crypto. Gold on daily chart finding resistance where I think it should, and now I think it should be looking to sell off from here. And there is a gap fill here, so you should be looking to basically get this gap filled, and then that will be good area to buy. 1870 is the gap, and then that would be the bottom. Silver by the dip, looking for silver to come back to the support line, and that support line as of now is around 22.8 bucks. If it comes here, that's an objective area to buy before a bounce. Natural gas also holding daily chart very nicely. This trend line support, 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 coming back to support, and then looking to bounce. Crude oil, massive, massive pump. Now this all resistances are broken. They all became support. Now going towards next resistance, which is around 90 bucks. 92, let's say $92. This is the next major resistance. Dollar also trying to break out, but I think we can maybe slightly adjust this more. You can see this whole area is should act as a resistance box. Okay, so let's see if a dollar can sell off here. If it sells off, that's going to be good for equity market and Bitcoin and gold. Let's look at Apple. Did it fill the gap? Still, that gap is not filled. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see that gap is there are two gaps actually. Another gap is here around 195, one gap is 190. So I think these two gaps should fill in September. So first target from here is around 0.52% away. That can happen tomorrow. Second target is almost 3% away. Okay. So also there's an iPhone event on September 12th, I think. So that could be completing the gap fill, and then we could get a lower bounce. Tesla holding the support line very nicely. Support, support, support. Uh, Back tested this support on Friday, again holding it and now again bouncing. So I think Tesla is getting ready to for this gap fill around 291. Microsoft, this run line, actually, let me see, is still not able to close above that. But let's see if it closes above that. There's a gap fill around 336, another gap here around 349. I think that's my target for now. Google also holding this trend line very nicely. Um, Again, any there's a gap here around 132. Any dips around this gap, that will be good area to buy. Facebook also, I made a new trend line and holding this nicely on this trend line. So looking for this gap fill around 322. Amazon also now holding this trend line. You can see we could like actually adjust this trend line like this now. So because we got more data, so let's adjust this. Let me see something like this, or let's take the worst case like this. Okay, not a cleanest of trend line, but you know what? Let's go with this for now. The previous trend line, I have more area support, hold more data points here, but it's still above this trend line. So Amazon is looking good to fill this gap around 144. Netflix also holding this trend line. You can see support here, support, support, support. Going for a gap fill. Snowflakes, 1.46% multiple gaps to fill to the upside. Nvidia, I don't have the cleanest of the trend line on Nvidia, so I might have to make something uh, like a secondary trend line on Nvidia, something like this, I guess. So as long as it's holding this, I'm gonna get rid of this trend line. I think it's good. So yeah, let's go with something like this for now. And it's holding the trend line. AMD also looking to recover this massive moves Friday and today. So if it recovers this trend line, that's going to be very bullish for AMD. Toronto Stock Exchange down 0.64%. There's a gap here. I think it's coming back to fill this gap around 23. When it also there's another gap around 19872. So it could be possible that September month we could get these two gap fills done. Hang Seng Index finding resistance where it should, because this was a major support before. Now it's finding resistance and selling off. Bond market got rejected in near resistance TLT, but it can come back to the support area. So just consolidating. We do have bullish divergence on PP and RSI, so that's telling me this is good area to buy. Copper by the dip. Uh, any 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 dump around 3.72, good area to buy. Palladium again in the buy zone. You can see this was bullish falling wedge on daily with higher momentum on. Actually, let me add that here. You can see this momentum was higher on PPO, also on RSI. You can see here momentum is higher. So it's just in a good support zone here. Okay, this is why you should be looking to buy palladium. Wheat also back testing bullish falling wedge with divergences. So broke out. Now back tested here. Another broke out. Again back testing this trend line. So I think everything is looking good for wheat. Corn. You can see here corn is struggling, but if it really needs to go above this resistance around 5.2 to get bullish again on corn. Soybeans, very good time to buy. It's again on this support zone here. So it's just touching this buy box. So any dips in this buy box is good area to buy. Sugar, very bullish moves. Looking for new high. Yeah, nothing is looking very bullish sugar and almost near new high. So buy the dip for now on sugar. Newmont Mine, the biggest coal miner, near almost 52 weeks low. Dividend is coming actually. Ex-dividend date is actually tomorrow, so we should have bought today. So we might have missed this now. So again, anyhow, so this is the whole support area. So this is the area you want to buy. And it's like near 52 weeks low, so you cannot get better pricing than that. Gold miner GDX looking for a gap fill around 30.28, let's say. So a little bit more downside from today's close. Let's see if I can get another 1.66% tomorrow. That will be good area to buy gold miners, and that should be looking for. Let's look at sectors. XLK. This is the tech sector, looking for this gap to fill tomorrow, 174. Then we go up higher to fill the above gap. XLE Energy. Wow, very bullish move. Massive move, but divergence on PP and RSI. I think this thing is completed. So from here we could come down a little bit. I think we should come down, fill these two gap before we go higher. So it's buy the dip in XLE. Healthcare sector XLV, very bearish candle. Looks like it wants to come down, fill this gap before going higher. XLU not looking good. Whole this trend line broke, made a gap, make a flag, and now breaking down. This is the area coming to a major support here. This was around 2020, coming close to that support area. You really want to buy utilities at support, and this is great time to buy, in my opinion. Industrial, did it fill this gap? Let's go to 1 hour chart. Still a little bit of gap left, so maybe tomorrow very quickly in the morning it will fill this gap, and then getting ready to fill these above two gaps. Real estate sector, I think it's coming back to this trend line. Any tags of this trend line, look to buy. Financials also on this trend line, support. So look to buy on this trend line. KRE, regional bank ETF. Looks like this gap is filled. So if I go to 1 hour chart, this gap is filled. So delete this. And I think if I go to daily chart, I think it wants to, let's see if it really wants to. I think maybe in September, I don't know now, but in September, eventually it's going to come back, fill this. But it cannot, I think it could go fill this gap first, then come back, and then go higher. So it can also do something like that. So eventually we'll be here filling these gaps at some point in time. Shopify, massive gap, so not interested. I'll wait for these. There are two gaps here, one gap here, 46, another gap here. So maybe near earnings we'll get some of these gaps filled. But for now, I'm not interested in buying Shopify until some of these gaps are filled. And let's see if there's anything else interesting. Let's quickly go to again my short-term indicator for tomorrow and see if I can find something interesting, any stocks. So anyhow, so let's see. Let me see some banks here. So, oh, let's go to Hang Seng Index first and let's see China. How's China doing? China is in the buy zone right now. This is why you should be looking to buy Alibaba and Baidu and other stocks. And let's quickly get extended hours back here. Here you go. Let's see copper near buy zone, palladium near neutral zone, wheat is also near neutral zone. Corn is near sell zone. So, but yeah, not interested here. Soybeans is near neutral zone. Sugar is near sell zone. Gold miners are in the buy zone. Newmont mine also very close to buy zone. Let's look at sectors. Healthcare sector in the buy zone near second standard deviation. Good time to buy. Short term XLU near third standard deviation, so perfect time to buy. Even better entry you will get in XLU. XLI industrial in the buy zone, getting closer to this gap fill around 106.9. Real estate sector just touching the buy zone. Financials Uh, Still away, 34.18 and below, look to buy. KRE, regional bank ETF, still 44.16 and below, look to buy. Looks like a lot of industrial stocks are in the buy zone. Let's look at CRM in the middle, Cisco in the middle, Disney. Disney's in the buy zone right now. UPS in the buy zone. McDonald's in the buy zone. So it looks like all industrial stocks are touching all very close to buy zone. Home Depot closed at and Nike 90 at 9.82 and below, look to buy. Honeywell already in the buy zone. Boeing 221, also there's a gap around 219.78, look to buy around that gap fill. Mastercard in the neutral zone. Visa neutral zone. Procter and Gamble in the buy zone. Starbucks very close to buy zone. Uber in the neutral zone. Verizon just touching the buy zone. TELUS in the buy zone. Bell, oh, in near third standard deviation, good time to buy. Let's see, Walmart in the neutral zone. Coca-Cola in the buy zone. BRK in the neutral zone. Biggest healthcare provider UNH nearby zone. ABBV already in the buy zone. CVS nearby zone. PFE already in the buy zone. So I think this gap must have filled, so I can delete this. And let's look at China. MCHI. Oh, massive pump. I don't know what happened. This could be fake out. Um, Alibaba, not here. Baidu is also in the neutral zone. Let's look at some of the Canadian banks. BMO near neutral zone. Royal Bank nearby zone. TD nearby zone. BNS near neutral zone. CIBC nearby zone. National Bank is already in the buy zone. Let's look at American banks. JP Morgan just touching the buy zone, and I can delete this. Gap is filled. Citigroup in the neutral zone. Goldman Sachs in near neutral zone. Bank of America near neutral zone. CP Rail Railways, CNI is in the buy zone. And what is this? BN Bookerfield in the neutral zone. Let's look at Enbridge. Oh wow, what happened to Enbridge? Oh, I'm not sure. Something happened after market, so like a massive dump. So very interested to see. Very interested to see. There's a news on stock fall on deal to buy. Deal to buy three three utilities from Romano for 14 billion. So people don't like it. Wow. So this thing dropped from the market close to almost, wow, almost 7%. Enbridge, a utilities company, to drop that much, that's a big deal. So I'll be keeping an eye on this. Could be a good buy tomorrow. FTS is in the buy zone. Let's look at speculative stock. NEO in the neutral zone. Lucid in the neutral zone. Nikola in the neutral zone. Riot in the neutral zone. SE in the neutral zone. AEHR in the sell zone. Target nearby zone, and I think Zoom is near sell zone. Wow, massive pump. So this gap is filled, so I can delete that. Okay, guys. So again, S&P 500 getting closer to buy zone, 44.89 and below. Look to buy it. Buy, sorry. And Nasdaq 15,405 and below. Look to buy. And natural gas is also nearby zone 2.67 and below. Look to buy. All right, guys. Good luck.